Oh boy, that was a workout to get into this location. With the weight of kit I'm bringing, because obviously I'm bringing water for Bracken as well. This is a dry camp, something I'll talk about in a minute. And on top of that, Bracken getting twisted around trees, branches and things like that, and we were sort of untangling ourselves to come in. It wasn't very stealthy, but in any case, we're in here and I'm setting up camp. I've offloaded everything, stripped right back to let some air get to me because it is really muggy in here. Bracken, I'm going to chain him to a tree roughly about 15 meters from me because I don't want him digging holes right by the shelter. He's a husky, they traditionally dig. He's no exception. In fact, he excels in it. So I'm going to put him out the way so he can do what he wants to do, not hindered by me. Once he's wore himself out and got acclimatized, he'll settle down and watch me do what I'm doing. So he's the first priority, to get over there, get him safe, get him out the way and secure. He's smelling deers in here everywhere, and if he was off a lead, boom, he'd be gone. And I'd spend probably 48 hours trying to find him. So I'm going to get him secure and then crack on with what I got to do. That's the bushcraft camp. Here's Bracken. And he's safe, he can't go anywhere. But he's got a fair bit of slack on that lead. He can now roam around and do what he wants to do. And I'm only just over there. Now, I'm fully aware it's going to get dark a lot earlier in here because this is quite a condensed canopy. I've got some pretty thick pine trees and everything, and it's going to block out a lot of the evening light. So it's going to get dark quick in here. I haven't unpacked. I've just basically emptied what I need at the moment. But I want to get all this picked up, so that's my first job. Right, I've saved the best of the offcuts and put them here inside the shelter. They'll dry out. I'm not worried about room because, as you can see, it's flipping huge. I could fit myself, 2, maybe 3 others in here, and the dogs right on the entrance here. Absolutely huge. It's going to be like sleeping in a 5-star hotel room-wise, but that's maybe a bit too wet to use tonight. It's still got that clammy feel to it. Right then, I'm going to just cut a notch there so this will sit in my lantern and not fall off. Obviously I'm thinking safety here, so let's just put a little notch in here. There. Just make it nice and deep, just in case I hit it with my head at any point. There. That's looking good. Look at that. Perfect. And there's enough room around everything for you know, it not to get too hot from the glass, because believe it or not, that does get quite hot. Right then, let's fill the lantern, get everything ready. Light is beginning to go. I've got a couple hours yet. Right. I never carry these full. These lanterns have a horrible habit of leaking. Well, they do leak. It's always best to fill up once you get to your location and empty before you travel. That's what I find. But yet again, this is a cheap lantern. One we got from Portugal for something like €3. And I think it's a knockoff Chinese one. But it served me. Right, the lantern's ready. I've brought my fire and I may have that tonight. It won't sit directly on the ground, even though I use a dog bowl as a protector. I will get it off the ground somehow. I may do that just to add, you know, that little bit of more feeling to the camp. But I have brought gas and I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee on the go. And then I'm going to go over and give Bracken a drink. And that brings me on to the subject of this is a dry camp. There is no streams or rivers nearby. Now you're probably thinking, yes there is, because I'm always banging on about this massive river. Well, it's about a quarter mile that way, or 3/4 of a mile in that direction. So in all intents and purposes around me, this is dry. It's kind of on a very shallow pinnacle, and the water drains away down in either side of it before it forms streams. So I've got to bring water into this camp every time I come here. I'm not in the habit of drinking out of puddles that have collected on the floor after a rainstorm. So yeah, it's a dry camp. That's the one disadvantage with this location, and I wish it wasn't so, but it is. So right, I'm going to get this going, then we'll go over and give Bracken his drink. Right, now that's boiling for myself. Right, you're probably wondering what Bracken is going to have for tea. Fear not. He's got some pouches and hard-boiled eggs. Obviously I stripped the shell off them, and yeah, he loves these hard-boiled eggs, so I'll probably give him one now and a pouch later. Maybe 2 pouches, I'm not sure. I'll see how he eats it up. And he'll have an egg in the morning before we head on out of here. It's going to be a quick exit tomorrow because, hey, it's Monday morning and we've all got things to do and places to be. But yeah, let's give Bracken a drink. Go on. Hang on. Wait there, wait there. Come on. Here, here. No, you know what, you can smell it, can't you? No, 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 no. You wait. Let me get the shell off. No, you have this one. Here you go. Now, here's your water. Go on. Go on. Now this woodland or forest, it's a woodland really in the UK. You might as well say forests are a lot bigger than what a lot of the stuff we've got here. But getting to the point, this woodland is absolutely eerily dead silent. My theory is because of the type of trees, it doesn't offer a lot of well, it doesn't offer a lot of habitat for most of our native species of animals. So as I'm quite deep into it and further away from the perimeter and agricultural land, there's less reason for the wildlife to come here. And if they are, it's just like I keep mentioning, they're passing through. But because I've got so much coverage and depth of coverage, I don't get wind unless it's, you know, strong. There's no road noise because there's no big roads nearby. I can occasionally hear a motorbike on the road 5 miles away when it's roaring along. There is no big roads. It is really eerily quiet. A lot of people may feel uncomfortable in here. I don't, but I am only about 300 meters away from a cairn or burrow, depending on where you're from the UK. They've all got different names, but yeah, I've got a cairn 300 meters away, and I might take Bracken for a little walk up there in a minute. You would have seen one of them, or no, you've seen both of them when we went for a little recce around here. But yeah, some people might not like that too close in the vicinity of their camp. I'm nowhere near it, as you know, could be disturbing any archaeological items, because quite simply, like I said, I'm 300 meters away. But it is still in the back of your mind. You have a burial chamber not too far away. So yeah, I hope I don't get any visitations from any Bronze Age chieftains or warriors that feel a little bit upset that I'm camping in their woodland. But yeah, it is really still and quiet. It's that peaceful you do actually get a chance to think. But I'm going to drink this up, and then I'll put Bracken on his lead and we'll go for a little walk. I'm really loving this camp now, and I'm so pleased I put the effort in to build it. Nothing's to stop it being found tomorrow and it being smashed down, but at least I would have had one camp, eh? Just the one camp. A lot of effort for one camp, I grant you, but I've had that one camp. But long may it continue, or at least I get 12 months out of it. And that other one I made in the other woodland is still going. I think I showed that on a short. So I might try and do a wild camp just down in that one. It is starting to show signs of age now, but it's still there. Right, I don't think it will survive another full winter, but hey. Right, I'm going to finish this up and then we'll go for a walk. Right, let's go get Bracken. And as you can see, he's digging up a tree stump here. I'll have to kick all that over when we leave. So you probably get the message what I'm talking about. He just loves to dig. He would spend all day digging. He'd end up in Australia if I left him. Right, we're not too far from the cairn now. It is really dense in here. Just beginning to lose enough light for it to become a little bit like all the tracks and the trees are starting to look the same. But I can see it in the distance. It's a fair old hump there now on the horizon. Even with all these trees, you can see the tree stumps rise significantly. So it's a fair bit of earth they did move back in the time. But I do feel a sense of connection to, obviously, these kind of cairns and things like that, because obviously it's our history, our culture, and you can feel, come to places like this, you can feel drawn into it. You can feel the spiritualness of it all, or I can anyway. I can feel, I can just feel it, and it. I know a lot of people will say that's rubbish, and I'm just talking out of my bumhole, but no, for me, they do feel special places, even to this day. So, I've got Bracken here. He's actually on the hunt for something. When I say on the hunt, he's attached to me. But he's sniffing every little hole. So if there's a rodent hiding away, he can smell it. That's what I mean. If I let him off a lead, he'd be gone. But let's keep walking through this woodland. Right. Trying to avoid Bracken getting caught up in all this debris. But you can just start to see it there in the distance. You look there, you can just start to see the mound there. It won't come out on camera, the size of it, but it is substantial. There. And you just feel that sense, the air gets that little bit heavier, and there's just something about it. There. You can see it there now. You can see the rise. Right, let's just start walking up on it. This way, Bracken. I don't know why, but I just feel like keeping my voice down as well. It's like you don't want to wake or disturb anybody that's sleeping underneath all that. After all, they've been there long enough now. They don't want me and Bracken coming waking them up. And I don't want them to wake up. Right. Hey, this way, Bracken. This way. Right, up we go. Now, you won't get through there, Bracken. This way. Yeah, we're climbing up on it now. Come on, keep going. So we're stood on top of it now, and that depression there is obviously where the chamber is caved in. So you can see where it's caved in. And this is the outer ring there. Bracken's down on the slope. Let's see if we can get a better gauge on the size looking up this way. There you go. You can see it a little bit more clearly now. So in the spirit of keeping things cheap and basically bushcraft and straight from your kitchen that you got at home, no money spent, this is tea tonight. Right there, how simple is that? Just go to your cupboard, pull it out, and off you go. A can of tomato soup, 3 slices of bread. If I need a snack or for the morning, a packet of crisps and a snack full of midnight coffee. You just can't get any more simple than that. And guys, if you're coming out for a few hours, that's all you need. You know, I've had a big dinner. This will do. This will get me through. If you want to go all out and cook steaks, chips, roast potatoes and the whole shebang, crack on. But if you don't have the money just to keep chucking money at food like that, just raid your cupboard, get yourself in the woods and have something to eat. And I promise you that will taste 5-star eating out here. What did we do before they invented ring pull? I would suggest a lot of cut fingers and a lot of swearing and struggling. Look at that. And 3 slices of bread. Bracken. Now there's nothing more that puts you on edge than when Bracken's out wild camping with me and he just stares into the distance. I can't see anything, but he does. And that really is unnerving. Right, you can see I've got the lantern going. I've got my bed space sorted out there. I'm ready to go. I'm actually got a thicker sleeping bag. I'm in my winter one. I always double up in the winter anyway, so I've got 2 thin sleeping bags. And that's where Bracken's going to sleep. I've got about another 2 to 3 foot before I hit the back wall. And like I said, there's plenty of room. And I'm going to get the chair into this porch area. And once I've done that, Bracken will come back to that tree. So on his lead, he can come up about here. So yeah, we can get right in close. Bracken will come in close to me in a moment. Bracken, come on, over here. Come on, what are you looking at? Come on. Bracken, come on, over here. What do you see? What do you see? Come on, over here. Come on. Well then guys, I think I've mentioned that I've been interested in doing a little bit of research and reading about witchcraft and things of that nature. It kind of falls into the folklore and legend bracket, and I've got an interest in all that type of thing. Well, if you're experiencing any problems with a witch, I've got a little tip for you. Some witches can't gain entry to your front door through your path unless they've been invited. How they get around that is they run along your hedge to your property to see if they can jump onto a wall and then gain entry through an open window or something like that. How can you combat that? If you plant a holly tree in your hedge that surrounds your property, a witch can no longer cross or move along your hedge. A witch will not cross a holly tree or bush in your hedge, so you can stop them dead in their tracks. Just a little bit of folklore and legend there for you. Yeah, it's amazing the things that you read and what you think about when you're here doing this sort of thing. But I'm watching Bracken and he's just staring off into the distance again. Hence, that's why this came into my mind. Well, that's it for me and Bracken. We're going to get an early night. We've got to get away early. Like I said, it's Monday, things to do. So we're all tucked up safely in the bushcraft shelter, and he is chained to my Bracken, so if I'm asleep and a deer decides or a fox decides to tempt him out, he isn't going anywhere fast. He's dragging a Bracken. I'll be able to get him. You've got to think about these things when you've got a dog with you. Right, catch you in the morning. Well, morning. It's 5 o'clock or just gone. I'm getting a cup of coffee on the go. I've just fed Bracken. He's out and about and hopefully doing his business. And yeah, it's kind of a bit of an early start, but I had to really, because by the time I have coffee, get ready, pack up, walk out of here and get home, it'll be time to start thinking about getting on with the day. But uneventful night, not a lot went on. A few deers roaming around. You could hear them. They were like bellowing and barking, and that would make Bracken sit up. But he didn't try to bolt out and have a look at what was going on. Got to be expected really, because I'm actually not, my camp is not too far from a trail. So they probably smelt me and Bracken and did a double take and then went the other way. Obviously we're not here every day, so they can go about their business. But I've got a coffee on the go. I want to get that down my neck and just enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet of this forest. But yeah, really nice. Really enjoyed last night. Really felt like everything come together and it was worth doing this. But this forest is just so quiet. It's just so quiet. Oh, we did have a few spits of rain. It tried to rain for about 2 or 3 minutes last night, and then it just gave up and stopped. Not a sound. Not an owl. Nothing. Nothing. Dead quiet. Literally dead quiet. Bracken, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. How was last night for you? You heard a lot of deers, didn't you? Right, I'm going to finish my coffee. You just chill. Right then guys, we're all packed up and ready to go. Bracken's had his food, like I say. I've just had a cup of coffee and a little bit of chocolate. But it is time to leave, and I've really enjoyed this wild camp. This woodland, I cannot explain. It does have an atmosphere. There's something about it. Most people would probably feel unwelcome and not want to stay here. I just got that inherent feeling inside me I was being tolerated. It is beautiful, but it is deadly quiet. I don't know if it is quite simply because there are cairns in the vicinity, and that might be causing a bit of an atmosphere. I don't know, but this is one of the few woodlands I've ever been in where I've really had that feeling where there is something here, something. I'm not suggesting and I'm not being paranoid, but most people that do this sort of thing, wild camping or bushcrafting, will inherently know that what I'm talking about. If you go into a woodland or a location, you'll either have that inherent feeling, yes, this is it and it's a beautiful place and you feel welcome, or you feel this isn't the camp spot for you and you move on and find a new spot. And then there are places like this, which are, well, like I said, for most people, they wouldn't feel welcome here. I just had that feeling I was being tolerated. But it is absolutely beautiful. As you can see, I've got mist and fog banks around me. And me and Bracken have got to go into that dark, dense bit of forest and make our way out of here. So take care, stay safe, and till I see you again, hopefully I don't get lost in all this woodland, because in some parts the fog and mist is really coming into it. See you later.